Okay, so good day to everyone. No, so this would be our remaining topics now, which is subtopic 4 of our unit 3, and it is named gustatory pathway. So let's move towards taste, no? So natapos naton si visual, natapos na naman si auditory, and then natapos na naman si vestibular. So let's proceed towards the sense of taste or the gustatory system. So what is taste, no? So taste comes from the taste buds on the tongue, but what we usually call kuno flavor is actually the combination of our taste or sense of taste plus sense of smell, no? That's one of the reasons why nga kung madulaan ka ano no, no sense of smell via mucus be. No, kasi buhi na nimo panabor because flavor is actually a combination of both, no, nga senses. And unlike other senses ko, no, your taste and smell converges in the brain, no, meaning they interact with one another, no, before going to their specified cortex. And ang tawag sini isang area nga gina-converge nila duwa is what we call nga endoperiform cortex. Huh? And again, no, that's why when you have a cold, your food might taste bland, no? Since nga before sila mag-go sila specified ng cortex, they converge in the brain, no? Makit-anay sila danay duwa in order for them to share information with one another, no? Unlike sa iban nga ano no nga senses like sa vision, no? So maagi gid siya danay sa visual cortex before siya mag-look na area sila yan ni sense of taste ug ni sense of smell, no? They converge in the brain. So an important aspect here when it comes to our taste receptors, no, that they are not true neurons kuno, but rather they are modified skin cells. Even though they are not true neurons, they still send signals to neurons, no? Just like neurons. Um, but like skin cells, no, however, taste receptors no are gradually slowed off and replace each one lasting about 10 to 14 days. No? So the regeneration aspect of these cells is very consistent since they are part skin cells. That's why ginatawag sila modified skin cells. No? So it only lasts for about 10 to 14 days. So kumbaga, your taste system is constantly renewing itself, no? And that's partly one of the reasons why no nga kung mapasok ka bala, your taste cells literally are or is dying, no? Napatay and eventually it will regain itself, no? Because it will regenerate itself since nga it is part uh, skin cells, no? That's why the term there naging gamit is modified skin cells rather than neurons or skin cell. Kumbaga do ka combination of both worlds siya. Sige. And this taste buds, no? Some are the taste receptors, no? Or the mammalian taste receptors. And they are located in what we call nga papillae, no? On the tongue or the surface of the tongue, no? So for a closer look, amo ni siyang papilla ho. Nara siyang sa picture, no? And inside the papilla, no, it might contain up to 10 or more taste buds. And each taste bud contains about 50 receptor cell, no? Sige. So magambal ta papilla, let me pull out my drawing. No? So amo ni siyang bilog ang papilla class. And sa sulod ko no, may ara up to 10 plus nga taste buds, no? And each taste buds, for example, ang bilog ni Deo, each taste buds contains about 50 kuno nga receptor. So, amo na kadamo ang inyong receptor cells, no? When it comes to this taste buds. Yung kita ano na lang ako nga, no? Islantang colors ang aton nga pen bala. Yan, yung color man. Okay. Anyways, let's proceed. So there are five kinds of basic taste, no? So sa una, back in 2001, no, and before, there are only four tastes, which are your sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and eventually during 2002, umami was discovered, no? So as you can see, there's a picture in 2002, umami receptors on the human tongue were discovered. Magambal umami, amo na siyang do ka savory blang flavor raw. Umami is also known as monosodium glutamate or MSG, which is one of the basic five tastes, no? Uh, Arab lang nakakita yun sa mga bitsin, mga magic sarap, no? MSG na siya, sa mga salsa. Umami means delicious savory taste, kumbaga. And it directly translate, no, in Japan. So Japanese word na siya, by the way, as such, no, delicious savory taste as well. And its taste is often described as the meaty savory deliciousness that deepens the flavor. Okay, so lima na siya kabilog, no? From four naging lima na siya since 2002. And now let's look at an actual neural recording, no? So this basically shows how a single neuron in a rat's brain responds to a different taste. Okay? So, anong setup nila, no? So, according sa book nga yung kuhaan ko each taste kono stimulus was given for 5 seconds. Kumbaga, yung pa kaon nilang rat, no? Something sweet, something sour, something bitter, and something, anong kulang ko gani? Salty, no? Salty. So, apat kabilog kay, as you can see, apat lang kabilog ang flavor kay wala pa na discover ng umami that time pag conduct nila sa experiment. But anyways, yun pa kaon kuno ang ilaga nga food nga something sweet, something salty, something sour, something bitter. Na and the stimulus was given for 5 seconds. And S, by the way, stands for sucrose, meaning sweet. N stands for sodium chloride or NaCl, which is the table element na sang salt. And then for the sour, it's hydrochloric acid. That's why it's H. And the last one is quinine or quinine. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but it's basically bitter na taste. So from top to bottom, sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. So this is shown by the stimulus line at the bottom. So whenever that line is on, the taste is being applied to the tongue. No? So as you can see there, amo na siya ginanamin no nga ang bilog ni bala. Kita niyo na. I hope kita no na sa ako ng screen no. This line indicates nga yung pakaon na sila sang something sweet, sour, salty, or bitter. Okay? Sige. Indication. I-erase ko na. So, what you're seeing here is the firing of rate of a neuron over time. So, the more it is nga ga-spike, no? Arab lang kita yun eh. The more it is nga ga-spike, the more it is nga stronger ang response, no? The more it is nga, for example, there being a side of fewer lang, meaning weaker ang response. Okay? So with that being said, what might be our observations, no? So this neuron, no, does not respond equally to all tastes. Okay? It may respond strongly to one taste, such as, for example, butang tabi, ang tatlo ninong first three, no? Nakusog sa niya pag-respond. Or moderately to one another, or even weakly, or not at all to others, person ang pinaka-last part, no? Jutay lang. So, in a way, we could say, no? Or we could say that we observe nga neurons are selective. It's not always exclusive nga. First, wala sa iban nga cell no like sa visual simple cell and stop cell they only respond to a specific orientation when it comes to neurons no that are embedded when it comes to the sense of taste. They are not exclusive rather than selective. May ara neuron nga okay siya sa salty, sa sour, sa sweet okay man pero hindi mo nakakusog, pero sa bitter do wala na gid no, may mga amo na do kumbaga selective siya. And why is this important? No, this tells us that taste coding is not one neuron, but rather one taste. Instead, each neuron can respond to multiple tastes, but with different strengths. No? So, mo nang na-observe to this aton ng experiment. For example, this specific neuron, okay siya sa sweet, no? Check siya sa sweet, check siya sa salty, checks man siya sa sour. When it comes to bitter, though, hindi siya masyado respond no? Or hindi siya masyado excited, kumbaga. Na? Meaning choosy siya sa bitter ang amo nga specific neuron nga gaandar sa utok sang rat. And another key observation would be persistence, no? Because responses persisted until the tongue was washed with water. Okay? So, the ending a point nga na-wash na siya sa water. This is the indication sang arrow nangyari sa dalawang bilugan ko eh. Meaning sa diri nga tile no or diri nga column during this moment sa may arrow na di hayop kitanon lang na nag-inom na kuno tubi ang rat naging painom nila tubi. So ang pamangkot dere, does the response still persist no even after nga na-wash out na sang tubig? Meaning even after 5 seconds no the stimulus ends, does the neuron keeps firing? Daan mo na black class na. Why? Nga aga fire pa no somewhat because the chemical is still present on the tongue. So, the arrow here is when the tongue is washed, diba, Rachel? The stimulus is physically removed, no? Meaning wala na ang substance or ang food. Siyempre, kaya dalan-danan ng tubig ang pagkaon no, when it comes to the rat. But still, the neuron activity is there, but drops back down, no? Matamat. That's what the arrow represents. So, the importance of this interpretation, so what does this tell us, no? Is that nga, taste is not just about detecting presence, no? It also depends on the duration, the chemical persistence, and even the clearing of the stimuli, no? So, the duration, for example, ang butanta si H, di ba, siya ning sour. When it comes to the sour taste of this specific neuron sa utok sang rat, no? Very persistent, no? So, you can see, grabe, yung linya-linya, no? Arado kita nanda, no? And when it comes to butanta be sa sweet, no? Though delay ang iya onset, though wala pa siya nagiyo gamay, pero consistent man and persistent, no? When it comes galing naman kay bitter, which is the Q, no? So you can see here, the onset ara dayon, no? And it's very strong. Pero pagkatapos na, do wala na kurit, no? Wala na siya response kumbaga. So, what does this imply, no? Is that uh duration matters, chemical persistence as well matters, no? Kung gaano mag-persist ang bitterness kaysa sa kay sour, salt, or sweet, no? And at the same time, the onset, no? Kung paano siya mag-register agad-agad. And the other thing is, if i-clear tang stimulus, no? If mag-inom na tubig ang rat, no? If ma-wash away na, does it still persist? So, for example, when the stimuli was not present anymore, so you can see here sa Q, which is the bitter, dula gid tanan, no? But if we try to compare with the sour, may bilin pa gamay. Sa salt naman gamay-gamay na gid, no? Because as we all know, salt can be diluted by water. But kung tawan nyo sa sweet, ara Japon si sweet diya maski although nagbuhinan, no nabuhinan siya gamay, buinan gamay si sweet, no? Still, damo-damo dyan pong bilhin. Sige. So, amo nang nahibalaan nila when it comes to studying the taste perception of these rats, no? So, kumbaga, it's like perfume ko, no? Even after spraying, the smell still lingers until it fades or is removed. And same man ako na sa aton nga panabor. It stays until it is washed away, no, for example here by our water. So overall, no, the big picture here is that the brain interprets taste using which neurons fire, how strongly they fire, and how long they fire. This is what we call nga pattern coding, no, when it comes to uh, the sense of taste. So class, remember, before we proceed, no, that taste perception is based on patterns of neural activity and it is not a one-to-one system, no. Kumbaga ka broad or kadamo sang ilang nga ah, isa ka neuron tantanan ginahap-an niya nga taste. It just so happen nga mas kusog ya taste sa sweet kaysa sa bitter ng mga mamo na bilang klase ng duration niya. And then responses can persist as long as the stimulus remain. Okay? And by the way, S, N, H, and Q mo na galing ilang ano, ang labels nila, no? S stands for sucrose or aka sweet. N stands for NaCl or sodium chloride, which is your table salt, stands for salty. H stands for HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, stands for flavoring sour. And Q stands for quinine or quinine, which is bitter, no? And these are commonly used in experiments though when it comes to taste. These are the labels. Okay, now let's proceed towards the mechanisms of taste receptors, no? So let's start with the simplest taste mechanism, which is our salt and sour. So these are the easiest to understand, kuno, kumbal sa book because they work through a direct ion channel. So what do we mean by direct ion channel? So let's uh, talk about this ion channel, no, based sa context ng salt una, then we'll talk about sour. For saltiness, the key player here is the sodium, nor Na, or the sodium ions, no. So what happens is that the sodium from the food enters this taste receptor cell, no. So, for example, something salty be, yung kaon mo, no? And then sa dila mo may mga taste receptors, via your taste buds, no? They will be excited, no? The neurons there, no? There will be what do you call this? They will fire, no? And in doing so, this sodium mga receptor will open, no? And when they bind, no, it directly depolarizes the cell, and then an action potential is generated. No? So, an action potential is basically the taste that you would feel na, no, kung ano ng flavor na ginapanabor mo. Depolarize is something na gin-turn on mo na. Kumbaga, gin-turn on mo ang sodium channel sang receptor in order for you to receive an action potential, which is the sense of taste ng flavor. So, kumbaga, there are no complicated steps, no? Just basically, may nagsulod nga something salty via sodium, no? Ang receptor nga nagkwada is your taste buds, and then it will enter your sodium channel through depolarizing the cells, no? Kumbaga gin on switch. Pag on switch, ma-release ang action potential, and those action potential will make you sense, no, or feel the sense of taste, no? Ang ginatawag nga, salty to gali. So there's no complicated step. So just remember that uh, salt is equals to direct entry of sodium ions. And these are very fast and very simple mechanism. No? Kadasig lang siya mag-bind. That's why nga if something blocks no this sodium channels, then the salty taste might become weaker as well. Now, let's compare sour with salt no. Anong kinalain nila? So, they work kinda similar, but ang kinalain lang is that instead of sodium, ang ginausaryan de is hydrogen ions, no? That's why ginang-label ta HCI, hydrogen chloride. And these hydrogen ions typically came from acids, no? And the more acids, the more hydrogen ions. And then the more hydrogen ions, the stronger our sour nga taste, no? So, kumbaga, si salt the same si salt kag si sour, the same lang ilang mechanism behind it. Very simple. They have fast response no because they have this direct entry every time nga may something sodium no nga food or may something hydrochloric na food, it will open these channels no and then it will release an action potential for you to perceive saltiness and sourness. It's just so happen nga ang kinalain lang nila is the other one is for sodium ions, the other one is for hydrogen. So again, these mechanisms are ionotropic in nature, no? Meaning it's very fast, simple ang ilang way to have an action potential, no? Ang ilang mechanism. Now, let's go towards the more complex side of mechanisms no sang taste receptors. This three, which is the sweet, bitter, and umami. So they do not work like salt and sour, no. The key concept here is that they use what we call nga metabotropic synapses or metabotropic ilang mga receptor. So let me explain no the mechanism step by step. So instead of ions entering directly just like a salt and a sour, no? Pag sulod nila, pag detect no sa taste buds nyo nga sodium ni or hydrochloride, ma-open lang siya diyon and then ma-bind no, and it will release an action potential that you would then feel the taste of saltiness or sourness. On the metabotropic naman nga receptor, it works kind of different, no? So instead of ions entering directly, first a molecule will bind to the receptor, no? For example, may nagsulod bing sweetness, no? That a specific molecule will bind to this receptor or this metabotropic receptor, and then the metabotropic receptor will activate this what we call G protein. And then the G protein will then trigger a second messenger within the cell, no, within the receptor, no? And this message, no, is responsible for the release inside the cell of what we call nga adenosine triphosphate or ATP. So this would be the neurotransmitter na ano nga gin-release, and because of ATP, this is where we would feel the coding for sweet, bitter, or umami ang imo panabor na. So as you can see, do ka complicated, hence the term complex, no? Okay, so for ions, no, we have here sodium that is entering your taste receptors or taste buds. It will then, after yan magsulod na, no, it will depolarize this sodium and eventually it will release an action potential, no? And this action potential will lead to the saltiness or sour nga flavor. So amo na sang ionotropic, no, which is simple lang. Whereas if I could delete this one. Whereas sa ato naman yung metabotropic, it's kind of complicated because metabotropic will first, parehas man no, the molecule will bind to a receptor, no? Ang receptor nga ginanaminta na ang taste buds, no? And eventually it will release a G protein. Si G protein will then release a second messenger within the cell, no? Within the receptor, and that second messenger will then activate this what we call nga ATP. And then si ATP, because of it, you will perceive uh, the, na lang, the three nga taste, no? Which is kung si sweet, sweet man. Kung bitter, bitter. Kung umami, umami man. So, why does this matter, no? Anong implication? Yung gina-explain ni Sir Man. No, nga, kabalo naman kami, no, nga, complicated, no, si metabotropic. Meaning, kung si salt and sour, direct ang pag-abriya sa aton nga receptor, kag dasig lang no ang pag produce sa action potential, si metabotropic naman niya indirect, no, damo pa sa pasikot-sikot. Kung indirect, meaning much slower ang iya nga pag perceive, no, sa kung ano man ang taste ang ginapanabor mo. Kumbaga, if you want to take it at a closer look, no, kumbaga, si sweet kag si salt, no, ka millisecond, ma-feel mo na din ang flavor. Whereas si metabotropic ni, ay sorry, sweet, no, salt and sour, gali. Si salt and sour, mga milliseconds lang ma-feel mo na din. Whereas si sweet, bitter, and umami, which are metabotropic in nature, um, it will take a second pa. No? Doon mo na ilang kinalain, millisecond versus a second. And the only downside lang kung dasig, meaning dasig man dula. No? So si salt and sour, although because they are an ionotropic in nature, they are direct, no? Therefore they are fast magbind, no? Magproduce ng uh, perception, mas dasig mo sila madula. Whereas si sweet bitter no mami, they are indirect, slower, but linger ang flavor. It's partly because nga kadako sang iyang ka-complex ang iyang ginahimo, no, and kadamo siya pasikot-sikot up to the point nga kadamo-damo na portions ang imong nga taste receptors ang gaandar, therefore it will linger much more. I hope that makes sense, no? So, to give you another analogy when it comes to ionotropic and metabotropic, si ionotropic again klasa si salt kag si sour, no? Those are simple, faster, direct, but does not linger. Whereas si metabotropic are sweet, bitter, umami, indirect, no? Damo pa sikot-sikot, therefore much slower, pero mas dugay siya madula. Okay? So let me give you another analogy, no? You can think of it this way, no? Kung si salt, kag si sour, the door opens immediately, no? Pag bind sa taste receptor, abrihan dayon ang protaan sa receptor. Therefore, mas suppose nga mag-process, mag-perceive sang taste. Whereas si metabotropic naman, which are sweet, bitter, umami, kinahanglan mo pa mag-press ang doorbell. No? Pag-press ang doorbell, si G-protein ma-release, amo na siyang signal nga malagan, no? Kuha sang second messenger, and then eventually, ang mag-open na sang pertaan si adenosine triphosphate. No? Kumbaga, do ka complex pa nga process before siya feel sang sense of taste. I hope that makes sense lang. Anyways, before we go further, no, let's focus a little bit on bitterness because this is very important biologically. Because scientists no, used to be puzzled because bitter substances includes a long list of the similar chemicals. Meaning, kadamo-damo bitter nga mga chemicals nga lain-lain man ng compound chemically, no, which are very different chemically, kumbaga. But why is it they are all bitter, no? So, what do they have in common? Most of them kuno are toxic or harmful. So, what does this imply? Meaning, bitterness is not just about taste. It's actually a survival mechanism. What do we mean by survival mechanism? Meaning, every time that we tend to eat something better, amo na nga do ka gakaluod ta diyon, no? Do masuka kita, 'di ba? For example, why do many mga medicine no taste bitter? That's partly because your body is naturally warning you that these chemicals that you are intaking might be dangerous. That's why a lot of medicines no might taste bitter sa imong taste cortex, no? So the question here is, what receptor could identify such a diverse set of chemicals? The answer is that we have not one beta receptor but a family of 25 or more. 25 plus kuno aton beta receptor. So each receptor detects a specific group of chemicals. So together, they can detect a wide range of toxins. And the important concept here is that this is called receptor diversity for survival. Kumbaga, why is it nga kadamo-damo sa receptor is this is for survival of the body, no? Um, think of it this way, no? It's like a security system nga kadamo sang sensors and each sensors detects a different type of threat. So, kumbaga, the more receptors equals the better detection for any dangerous substances. But now here's an interesting limitation when it comes to bitterness, no? That each bitter receptor exists in small numbers. Te ano gid daw, what are the implications? So what happens, no? So we are not very sensitive to very low concentration of bitter substances. So what does this mean, no? This means that smaller amounts of bitter substances might not be detectable kuno sa atong taste buds, no, kung gamay lang a portion sang bitterness. That's why when we tend to cook food, if we don't want it to be bitter, but we could still we could still put, for example, ang palaya sa mga ano ganyan tawag man, sa mga appetizer na bala kasi may kita mo na may isa lang kang palaya in order to uh, mix the flavor well. Sa mga atsara, nakita niyo may gamay ng palaya because that might not be detectable since nga there's a lot of flavors there. I hope it makes sense. So, smaller amounts equals might not be detectable, but larger amounts naman on the other hand might be a strong bitter taste up to the point nga maluod ka because again, your body is telling you that something foreign, something dangerous is entering your body. Okay? The same man na with the nose nga interaction, no? When we go sa olfactory. Why is it nga aga kadamo, no? Or damo some bitter substances that stimulate the receptors in the nose? That's partly because nga for you to cough or sneeze it, no? Especially if you inhale something toxic. Same man na si mga baba nga dumasuka ka kung magkaon ka bitter or naluod ka, no? So, what's the big picture here? No, what's the big concept here is that your body doesn't just rely on taste, no? It uses multiple systems to protect you. No? So it works well with your mouth, no, with your nose, and then eventually if bitter gin man, your stomach will help as well to magsuka, no, to expel it. So it's a multiple systems to protect you. So to wrap up this part of the mechanisms of taste receptor, bitter taste equals a protection system. And bitterness is to detect toxins. It uses many receptors, and works together, all of these receptors, with smell and reflexes. So this helps us, again, detect harmful substances. Sige. Now let's proceed towards taste coding in the brain. Now, let's trace how taste information travels from the tongue pagto sa aton nga utok. So the tongue is actually divided in terms of nerve supply, no? So what do we mean by this? No? So let's try to explain the pathway, no? Uh, so information from the anterior two-thirds of the tongue travels via this what we call the chorda tympani, which is part of the cranial nerve number 7, no? Facial nerve. And then the posterior part of the tongue naman and throat travels via this cranial nerves number 9 and 10, which are your glossopharyngeal and vagus. So, amo man ang bako last time nga, you need to know the things that we've discussed sa ating nga prelim para mas mapahapos na lang mag-discuss during the midterms. But anyways, so the anterior two-thirds of the tongue is via the facial nerve, and the other posterior part of the tongue and throat, no, travels via the cranial nerve number 9, glossopharyngeal, and vagus nerve, cranial number 10. So, kumbaga, taste is not carried by just one nerve, no? It uses multiple cranial nerves. Now, I have a question here, no? So, what do you think, Kuno, will happen if someone anesthetize your chorda tympani? So, kung imbutahan ko no anesthesia ang imo chorda tympani, ay, ano ayan matabo? Because we've mentioned na the two-third, no, of your sense of taste ara sa chorda tympani or travels along the chorda tympani. So what do you think will happen if wala ka two-third nga taste? Ano, one-third lang imo masaburan? Or wala ka gid masaburan kay mas dakong two-third sa one-third? Or wala lang siguro matabo, no? May bilin lang guro Japon ng imo nga panabor. So let's find out. So the answer here is that you would no longer taste anything in the anterior part of your tongue. So madula gid yan, no? Ang two-third. But you probably would not notice it because you would still have taste with your posterior part of the tongue, no? So, yes, you lose taste in front part of your tongue, the two-thirds of it. But the interesting part here is that you might not notice it right away. Nga how? Because the posterior tongue is still working even though it's one-third lang nag-work Japon. But although that is true, there is this what we call nga phantom taste galing, which is a very interesting nga concept, no? In about 40% kun of the cases nga kung i-anesthesiahan ng chorda tympani, people experience this what we call nga phantom taste. Ara lang you feel like you're tasting something even though the stimuli is not present, wala man ang pagkaon, no? So, first na doon nakapanabor ka french fries, maski wala kang magkakaon french fries. That's basically phantom limb. Dopers lang sa phantom limb, no? But in terms of taste. Sa phantom limb, dato lang dumduman yung I don't know if na-mention ko na during our face-to-face discussions, no? But phantom limb sensation is that mga ginutdan, bala kamot, for example, kag pagbugtaw nila no after the surgery, feel nila kalam ila right hand pero ginutod na ila right hand, no? So that is what we call phantom limb sensation. So do ka same na, no, but when it comes to taste, that's why it's called phantom taste. So what might be the implication here, no? So this tells us that the brain can generate sensory experiences on its own, no? So, kumbaga, loss of input doesn't always mean a loss of perception because na-learn naman sa cognitive psychology that our brain can fill in the gaps, no? Even ganun sa aton memory, di ba? Sa cogsci, it can fill in the gaps. That's what we call cascade processing, di ba? Okay. Now, let's follow the pathway inside the brain, no? So, hambal dire, all taste signals first go to a structure called the NTS, no? Or the nucleus of the tractus solitarius, which resides in the medulla. So, why is it important, no? Because this is the first relay station for taste, no? Kumbaga, before siya magkadto kay thalamus, which is the relay station, no, for the cortexes, maagi di sa danay, may first saya nga relay station. So, pagsulod yan sa nucleus of the tractus solitarius sang medulla, i-disperse yan din ng signal, no, towards a lot of structures in the brain. First of which, ang lagyan niya is a pons, siyempre kaya mo ng bridge, no, from medulla pagto sa brain, no, maagi sa sa bridge, which then will travel pagto some of it pagto sa hypothalamus, which is responsible for hunger and motivation, no? So pag simot sang flavor, maagi siya sa hunger or motivation, no? Why is it nga gakagutom ang tao? Kung makasimot ka, no? Nga kung makasimot ka something nga namit, gakagutom ka diyon because ang parts ng sensory sinasang nasimutan nimo maagi sa hypothalamus, which is for hunger and motivation. And eventually it will go towards the amygdala, emotion, no? Ang amygdala it's all about emotion. That's why nga galain nimo nga mudo kung di ka kakaon, no? Kag nakasimot ka be something nga flavorful because alagyan sa gali sa ngaton nga pathway when it comes to gustatory. And then eventually, pagtapos siya na agil, pagtapos siya na labay-labay sa hypothalamus amygdala, makadto na siya din sa thalamus, which is the second relay station. Amo gini ang main relay station, di ba, sa aton ng mga cortex. Ano dayon? Siyempre, idulong ni thalamus sa specified nga cortex. And then paglabot na sa cortex, this is where we have our perception of kung ano ni nga sense of taste ang aton na saburan. Okay? So, in regards to the gustatory pathway, there are two cortexes. One of these areas is, syempre, ang kagtuan niya is somatosensory cortex, which processes the touch aspect sang pagkaon. For example, kanami sang kaon kun isang nga tofu no do ka smooth sang texture or even the temperature no. Hala kainit sang samgyup no. So for example, kaon ko dayon na something like that. No, so those sensory, those temperature no kainit pa and even the texture of the food ang ga-process na si somatosensory. So, taste is not just taste. It includes texture, temperature, plus emotion. Na so, the NTS distributes taste into multiple brain areas for integrated processing, kumbaga. And the second one is what we call the insula, which is the main area for taste perception na. Kung sis, ang iban nga signals no sa somatosensory which is for the texture, the temperature, no? The other or most of it naman niya ara naman sa insula, which is this time for you to perceive no kung ano na panaburan nimo. So, this is considered as the primary taste cortex and each insula receives input from both sides of the tongue. So even if one side is damaged, taste is not completely lost. So amo to ang balta sa phantom taste bala no. Maskin damage pa dang two-third nga anterior portion doesn't matter because we still get taste from the other side. It's just so happen nga may phantom taste nga gatuwawelin from time to time no, but not all. But anyways, no, for a simple explanation, think of it as think of the insula as the brain's taste center, no, where flavor is consciously experienced. Baga, insula is the main area for conscious taste perception. Okay, now let's proceed towards our next slide, no, which we will compare how taste is coded in different brain areas. So as you can see here, di ba hambaltang first nga relay station, first yung kagtuan is your nucleus of the tractus solitarius of the medulla no, or NTS. And in the NTS, no, how does the coding work? So most neurons respond to multiple tastes. So kumbaga, it's a more general or broad nga coding. Just like sa experiment pa kaginabla sa mga rats, di ba? Isa ka neuron, pag fire ya, respond siya sa tanan nga taste. Sa sweet, sa sour, sa bitter, etc. But they don't respond on the same intensity, no? For example, sa piyak, mas namian siya sa sweet, no? First sa baratabla sa sweet, sa sour, sa salty, pero paglabot sa bitter, do kahinay siya mag-respond. So do muna ko nung kakatabo sa NTS kung ang relay station na pala sa NTS, no? But the coding, however, in the insula, no, which is the main naging nga cortex, some neurons respond mainly to one type of taste, no? For example, if ang amo nga neuron sa insula, it's for sweet only. Ang amo nga neuron sa insula is for salty only. Naka-specified na ya. Paglabot na sa main receptor for taste, no, which is the insula. So the key concept here is that early processing, kung sa NTS pa lang gina-process ang flavor or ang taste, it's much broader, no, ang mga neurons nga ga-interpret kumbaga. And paglabot na sa higher processing, which is ara na sa insula, much more specific na sila, no? Mas stricto na sila nga sa sweet, dire ka lang ya dapat. Sa salty, dire ka lang ya dapat. Sa sour, dire ka lang dapat. So the big idea there is that this shows that taste becomes more refined as it moves up our brain, no? So remember, coding becomes more specialized at higher levels. Again, no? Kung sa NTS pa lang ang pag-interpret niya, broad pang responses, no? Since nga palabyon niya pa ni kay pons, malabay pa kay hypothalamus, malabay pa kay amygdala, no? Before siya magkadto sa thalamus, no? Kagidulong sa insula. So pag amo na nga paglabot na sa insula, more specific ng representations ng taste. Nga sweet lang giya. Umami lang gid salt lang gid no? So most neurons no respond to multiple tastes but some areas specialize it. Sa NTS, multiple taste. Sa insula, specialized na. So taste is both distributed and localized, kumbaga. Okay, I hope you've learned something no, when it comes to our gustatory pathway because this ends our discussion in terms of our gustatory pathway. The next i-record ko no is the somatosensory pathway. So please bear with me when it comes to this one since this would be the second largest no, pathway. The same man sa visual ang kadamo-damo, no? So, I might record this sa Tuesday and maybe sa Wednesday ko ni ma-post pa. But for the meantime, no, focus ko muna na sa tatlo ko nga gin-record, no? Which by now, I think na-send ko naman ang for auditory and vestibular. Anyway, study well and good luck sa inyong exams. Bye-bye!